welcome to Lionheart Dreamweaving. My name is Matthew, and today I have for you a pick-a-card style tarot reading, which is about a vibe check for somebody, person of interest, which can be somebody that you know personally in real life, someone you are interested to get to know in real life, or someone who is a little bit more distant, like a public figure or someone you don't personally know, but you're just hypothetically curious what kind of vibe you would get if you did meet them in real life and connect with them personally. So this is meant to be like a confirmation of your own intuition and like a clarification. So reflecting and for you and confirming what you are already sort of sensing a little bit more vaguely. So that's sort of the idea here. And yeah, so I'll show you briefly each of the 5 crystals here, and you can choose one of these or multiple if you are so inclined. So this is number 1, which I think is citrine. Number 2, I believe, is green adventurine. Number 3 is some type of amethyst, I guess. Number 4 is sodalite. And number 5, I don't actually know what this is, but it looks sort of like a Dalmatian type. Reminds me with the black spots there, gray and black, sort of like a Dalmatian type of stone. So I will give you a moment to go ahead and choose which pile you're going to watch, and you can find the timestamp for each of the piles down in the description box down below, and I will see you in your reading. Hello, pile number 1, and welcome to your reading about a vibe check for a person you are interested in. And if you skip the intro, I'll just mention briefly that this can be someone you know in real life, someone you hope to get to know, or someone who's more at a distance, like a public figure or something, and what it would be like hypothetically if you did get to know them. So this is meant to be like a reflection of your own intuition and like sharpening, or like just a little bit more detail give. So trust your own gut feelings, of course, above all else, and take what bits resonate with you from this. And yeah, let's get started. So you have Queen of Fire from the Good Tarot. From Vice Versa Tarot, there is Judgment, the Moon, and 2 of Cups. And then from Osho Zen Tarot, there is Slowing Down, which is Knight of Pentacles, and Control, which is King of Swords. Okay, interesting. This person might not be the easiest. I think wouldn't be the easiest person to get a feel for. Like first sense I'm getting is that they have cut a lot of layers to them, and the way they present themselves outwardly and in the most obvious way is not the full picture. There's something else going on a deeper level. Something. So if you're a very intuitive person, psychic type person, you might be picking up on that there's like some conflict with how this person is presenting themselves, and then the vibe of their energy. So right off the bat, I'm sensing a little bit of an inconsistency there that might raise maybe alarm bells is maybe not or is maybe a little too strong of a phrase, like red flag, I guess. That even may even be a little too strong because it's a very subtle type of contradiction here. But yeah, I mean, it might for it might you might feel something a little bit off that you're curious about there, and so I'm getting the sense that this is like a person who in their close relationships, closest relationships, not the way that they present themselves in the public sphere, but in their closest relationships, might have a little bit more of some type of instability about them that they can explode. Their emotional processes can be a bit explosive, and this is something that only the very closest people in their life will have experience with. And now that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just sort of like some people just have intense emotions, like they feel things very deeply, very strongly, and it impacts them kind of profoundly. And that so it's not necessarily unhealthy, right? For some people, maybe it could be, right? So keep your guard, like keep an eye out for that. But this is I'm sensing more that this is just someone that uh, they have like very powerfully like fast surges of emotion which can explode out sometimes, but at the same time, like on the surface here, they also make like an effort of being like calm and in control of themselves in their public sphere, in their presentation of themselves to the outer world. So this is not this sort of it's I don't yeah, maybe a little bit instability, like I guess this emotional instability, or just tendency for emotions um, to take them over in certain moments, but they keep it out of the they do their best to keep it behind closed doors. So it's not something that most people would identify them with, because they're keeping like the sort of the expression of that under control. But then there's the backside of this control where when you are trying to control emotions, or like keep them in like the expression of it within like a socially acceptable package, then it does actually end up coming out in more erratic or explosive or intense kind of ways in other parts of their life here. And I'm sensing that would be specifically around their loved ones, like the people that they feel most safe and comfortable with, sort of can get the more difficult and challenging aspects of this person. But otherwise, they have very very positive vibe in public. They seem like a very confident, charismatic, warm-hearted person here, with this Queen of Fire leading the reading. So they have good vibes, like overall, but then there might be you might be able to feel that there's some emotional turbulence going on under the surface that they are trying to keep under check. If you're a very sensitive, intuitive person, you might get that vibe from them. But and I don't think that average people sort of notice that about this person. Okay. I think that's all that I'm seeing here for you for this reading, pile number 1. I hope that was interesting or helpful in some way. And if you like the video, please click the like button. That helps me a lot. And subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. and you want to see more content in the future. And yeah, I'm also always interested to read the comments if you want to share something in the comments. That would be lovely. And yeah, thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye. The overall vibe here I'm getting is someone who has been struggling a bit with their mental health, I would say, mental, emotional, psychological health. And there's like a sense of like inner conflict here. And yeah, like I'm sensing that this person, they have a good heart. They're very caring overall, like deeper down, that but at the same time that there's been some because I'm looking here at this Seven of Pentacles and the conditioning, the devil, and they both look so sad. To be honest, look, if you look at their face, they just look so sad. You see? Can you see this guy's face? Yeah. And this is like someone who has been struggling with breaking out of, because they have this conditioning next to the transformation. So there's like they've had like they're struggling with their inner demons, battling their demons, and breaking out of really unhealthy cycles of self-talk and beliefs and thoughts and things, but then also like the actions associated with this. So this is someone who perhaps has a history of some little bit toxic behavior, I would say. Like perhaps they've had issues with like addiction, like do some type of self-medication, or just like addiction comes in many forms. It could be substance abuse, or it could be other things that people can be addicted to as a way of coping mechanisms. And so, but this person, I'm getting the sense that they don't have overall the healthiest sort of balanced energy, but they do care and they do make an effort. They are making an effort towards improving their situation, improving themselves, growing, healing, all this type of thing. So that's like a very admirable trait in people, that if you're intuitive and you sense people's vibes, like that might be something that draws you to a person. If you can feel that on some level they do want to change, and they are putting some degree or another of effort towards that. But at the same time that they do have patterns that which are a bit problematic for themselves, and then also it has some effect on their relationships with other people. Like they make choices sometimes which are a bit destructive, and and it's just coming from this wounded place in themselves, which we all have to some degree or another. But at the same time, like I wouldn't say to totally, I wouldn't say to like give up hope on this person. Like I'm not sensing like I want to stress the point, like really trust your gut on this one, like your own intuition, your own sense, and don't, if someone is behaving in a sort of toxic way in a relationship with you, like don't just completely ignore that. But at the same time, like, I want to say that there is some amount of hope for this person, that they are growing and changing and healing their issues. Yeah. So overall, I would say that this person does pass the vibe check. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, it's murky. It's like tilting towards like which way are they gonna go, right? And it's yeah. I think the important thing is that you see that they are genuinely like putting in effort to be a healthier person in their own inner life, and then how that also reflects in how that they treat their relationships with other people, because they do have some amount of inner conflict here and some negative patterns from the past, which could be hurtful and problematic for, yeah. So just keep an eye out for that. Be a little cautious about that, and but otherwise, like, I do see that this person would very much appreciate the support of a loving, healthy, stable, balanced relationship. Yeah. But at the same time, I want to also like warn, like, just try to make sure it's a bit uh, that you're not over giving to this person, because they might not at this point in their life have, if they're dealing, putting a lot of their own energy towards like healing their own issues and climbing out of like a mental health problem hole, digging themselves out of that hole here, they might not have the most to give into nurturing a partner or something, for example, or their friends or something like this. They might not have the most energy to give to others. So just, try and keep it in like a fair balance, like that you don't let your compassion and empathy for this person like drive you to give a lot in an unsustainable way to them, is the warning I would give here. But otherwise, yeah, this is person whose their vibe is heading in a positive direction here. So yeah, I think that's all that I have for you, pile number 2. I hope this was interesting and helpful in some way. And yeah, if you'd like to leave a comment down below, I'm always interested to read the comments. And yeah, please like the video if you liked it, because that helps my channel a lot. And yeah, if you want to see more content in the future, subscribe. And thank you very much for watching. Bye. Hello, pile number 3, and welcome to your reading about a vibe check for person of interest. Now, if you skip the intro, I'll just briefly explain that this can be someone who you know personally, you're connected to already, someone who you'd hope to get to know and connect with in real life, or someone who's like a public figure or something, and they're a bit more distant to you, but you're just curious, like, hypothetically, what would the vibe be like if you did meet and connect with them in real life? And I just want to also preface this to say, like, this is meant to be like reflecting your own intuition and amplifying that. So trust your own gut feelings here above all else. And yeah, just take the bits that resonate with you here. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the cards. We have Empress from the Good Tarot, 9 of Swords from Vice Versa Tarot, King of Pentacles, 6 of Swords, and from the Osho Zen Tarot we have Harmony, which is 10 of Cups, and Past Lives, which is the Moon card, I believe. Okay. This is interesting. Yeah, they have. I would say that this is this is someone who they have quite high vibrational energy. Uh, this is like quite positive here. Um, Overall, with like the Empress card as the overall energy, this is like um, someone who they have their energy is strong, and it creates a lot. It's very abundant and and earthy and creative, um, and like very pure and clean. I'm sensing like very pure hearted, high vibrational type of person here. Also, especially here with the harmony and yeah, this past lives card. That this is someone who they're very in touch with the mysteries of their heart. I would say they describe it in that way. and and yeah, they might be someone that you have like a spiritual connection with. Actually, that this past lives card has come out like that you could have known this person previously in another life, and yeah. So, and that they in general are a person who is in touch with the spirit realm, that they are more sensitive to this, whether it's something that they are consciously aware of or not. Because not everyone who's very highly spiritual like does it in a super conscious way, and like participates in all the practices and all of that. Some people just live it, like, and they have a connection to this thing that they don't necessarily understand. So it's going to be a little bit different for, I think, all of you, each of you, whether this person is like very consciously spiritual or sort of like unconsciously spiritual, if that makes any sense. Because they also have this King of Pentacles here, so I think I'm getting with the Empress and the King of Pentacles that they're also like decently well grounded type of vibe, and they have like calming type of steady energy about them. Now, okay, here's the other part though. So they with the Nine of Swords and Six of Swords, like that they're very high vibrational, and they have a lot like of beautiful things to share with the world. But I sense also that there's a like sort of issue with their confidence in themselves or their self-esteem or something, that they don't see themselves as clearly. I would say that they, on some way, in some level, they're undervaluing themselves here. That they have a lot of like, yeah, a lot of like potential, or what they're giving to the world, or the potential that they have to give to the world, their gifts, their creative abilities, or their mind, or their caring, like their heart, their beautiful, beautiful heart here. But they somehow aren't putting it together, and they're not valuing it or perceiving themselves in the same way that the world or other people, many other people, would perceive them. And they could be very hard on themselves, like internally, or have like a harsh voice, inner voice here. And or like be like highly self-critical, or like perfectionist, or something like this. So overall, like the vibe that they give off, it's really beautiful, really high vibrational, spiritually in touch, to higher realms, to non-physical realms, but also like they're well grounded, um, and so they keep it in balance, you know. And I don't think that they see. I don't think that for them, maybe it's just normal, or they have such high standards for themselves that that they aren't giving themselves as much credit for that. And then the result of that is like that it creates an underlying vibe of like uncertainty or just a sort of lower level of confidence than they perhaps deserve. Like I think that this person could, if they shifted their self perception a little bit and spoke a little bit more encouragingly or noticed a bit more of the positives of their own self, that they could be even more contribute even more to this world because they would be more open and more to that or more confident to share their stuff, their magic with this world. But that there's something, they're undermining themselves in a way, and that sort of comes through in the vibe that they're giving off to other people, like that this is someone who maybe seems a bit like modest or meek or a little too humble, or maybe on the other side it could be like self-deprecating or anxious, nervous, or something like this. But the thing is, it's all in their head, and I think that sort of comes through in their vibe as well. That other people are sensing off them. Yeah. This person just needs a good pat on the back, I guess. But yeah, I think that's all the messages that I'm getting here for you, pile number 3. And yeah, I hope this was interesting, maybe helpful in some way. And yeah, I would love to read the comments. If you want to comment something down below, that would be great. And yeah, if you like the video, please click the like button because that helps my channel. And yeah, if you want to see more content, then subscribe. And thank you very much for watching. And I will see you next time. Bye. Hello, pile number 4, and welcome to your reading. This is going to be a vibe check for your person of interest. And that can be somebody that you know in real life already and you already have a connection with, somebody who you have met or seen in real life and you would like to meet them and get to know them more, or someone who's maybe at more of a distance to you, and you're just hypothetically curious what the connection would be like and what their vibe would be like if the vibe would be like if you did meet them. So and this is meant to be a reflection of your own intuition here. So take the messages as they resonate. Okay. So you have first 2 of air, which is 2 of swords. 10 of rainbows. We are the world, which is 10 of pentacles. Change, which is the wheel of fortune. Ace of wands. The tower. Okay, and 10 of cups. Wow. There's a lot of 10s here. 10, 10, 10. Interesting. First thing I want to say is that this person is sort of they're going through a shift in their frequency here. This is like an upgrade. Like they're leveling up here. So now, okay, so overall this is pretty positive vibes. Especially with this like 10 of pentacles, 10 of cups. This is very like it's very like emotionally so fulfilled, fulfilling. Like they have a lot of depth to them and a lot to share with others here. but at the same time, like there's like something like that's been they're like a little bit shaky at the moment, or their vibe, their energy is a bit shaky, like something. um I guess I want to say out of balance, but it's because like when you're going through such a massive state change, that things have to go into flux and like out of balance, and like they have to do a bit of like a balancing act here, because this, although this is the two of swords technically of in traditional tarot, like with the picture of this particular deck, I almost see it more like two of pentacles or something, like they're doing like a dance, like which is requiring um, quite a lot of balance here. And but this is very beautiful figure here, like with the feathers and like the, yeah, this is like how do I want to say, gosh, I'm struggling for words suddenly. um what's the word, graceful, yeah, like so beautiful, graceful, like the way that they're moving, navigating through this is yeah, like great, like graceful, and so, but at the same time, like their foundations are being shook up here. With you, they have the tower, and then also this. Whoa! See, knocking the cards all over here. So, like with the, yeah, this Ace of Wands here, I almost see this like these two cards as like a continuation of one another here. Like there's the lightning bolt coming here. So like often like with the tower energy, it's when it's considered like shocking and surprising, because it's like external forces or the universe, like forces outside of your control coming to shake things up in your life here. But I almost have a sense of like that this person has called it into themselves, like they've summoned the the upheaval of their own life here, or that they've sort of consciously created that this circumstance, because they've realized that they reached a point of climax here, and that it almost, if they hadn't brought in this like leveling up energy, the shake up energy of their life, that things would start to become stagnant. Okay, so um that they were potentially for a while coming to a point where mm, they had done all that they could do at their current level of consciousness, and they had achieved some amount of success with that, but then it starts to feel at a certain point like a, a big fish in a small pond kind of thing, like there's that kind of vibe here. So and that at the although they had like reached like a quite an amount of like fulfillment and contentment, and like a good reciprocal flow with other people and their relationships in the community here, but um, that they still have a lot more untapped potential to be fulfilled here. So they have um, initiated a process which can be a bit uncomfortable, but at the same time, like it's divinely inspired here, that they bring in this new level of awareness, and a new level of hmm, that's like, because the Ace of Wands is like spiritual energy, so like inspiration, like a new sensitivity, or like a new channel opening here. And you see with the tower here, there's the third eye like above the thing, like looking down on the whole scene here. So yeah, this is a very overall very positive vibe, but at the same time, like it just at the moment it might be a bit unstable. Like they might be like shaky or like in flux, or like having a hard time to know exactly what they want or what their future is going to look like here, because they're just at the beginning of a new level of what's possible for them to create in their life. So it's hard for them to commit to any particular thing at this moment. And so I would recommend to just be like patient and supportive with this person uh, while they're navigating this new dimension of themselves, which they're coming into here, and the new cycle, this whole new phase of their life, which is being initiated. And yeah, but otherwise though, like it's all very positive vibes. So I think that um, as far as the vibe check goes, like this is definitely like a thumbs up. Like they passed the vibe check, but yeah, it just at the same time, like it could be a sense of instability, or things are in flux, or they might seem like indecisive, or something like this. But that's just the phase of life that they're at because of the overall arc of their character development, their story of their life here. So yeah, I think that's all that I am seeing here for this reading. So if you'd like to comment down below, I'm always interested to read the comments. And yeah, please like the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more content in the future. And thanks for watching. Bye. Hello, pile number 5, and welcome to your reading. This is a vibe check for your person of interest, which this can be somebody you know in real life, you're already connected to, somebody who you would in real life you'd like to connect to, or someone who's more at a distance, or like a public figure or something like this, and you're just like hypothetically curious what the vibe would be like if you were to connect with them personally. And yes, and please just use your own discernment, because this is meant to be a reflection and amplification of your own intuition here. So just take what resonates with you. So we have here 5 of water, Ace of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles, 2 of Wands, possibilities, 2 of Pentacles again, with moment to moment. Okay, interesting. And ordinariness with 8 of Pentacles. All right. This is this is the most important part, because you have the repeat cards here, is the 2 of Pentacles here. Now, so this is, and especially like with this particular tone or this particular deck, it's moment to moment. So like this is someone who like they really are like living in the moment, you know. Which so there's 2 different connotations that are coming to mind of like living in the moment, and one is much more positive, which is like being fully present in the moment, and having making the most out of the experience that you're having, and and being like highly conscious and aware, bringing a lot of consciousness into the present moment. But then the other sense of the is a little bit more towards the negative side, and it's a kind of sense of like living your life in such a way that there's not much foresight or consideration of the future or um, the consequences of your actions or this kind of thing. And and yeah, somehow with the possibilities card, I'm getting a sense of like that this person has a hard time seeing the forest for the trees, actually. Like that they might be having it might not be so easy for them to really like see what's really going on in the bigger picture and have that type of higher self-awareness of themselves and how that their moment-to-moment decisions are coming back to them, coming back around. Like there's this loop here of like I'm seeing this like karmic loop of like action and reaction. So how that their own actions that they put out have a reaction and come back to them. So this because I'm sensing here with this Five of Pentacles, or I mean, sorry, Five of Cups here, Five of Water, that with the art here, like that they can have a bit of a woe is me attitude about certain things in their life, and like feel victimized or like play up the victim role, um, instead of having like a more balanced type of perspective about how they have contributed into a situation here. Um, because victimhood is a complex subject. Like I do believe that there are genuinely like situations in which people are victimized, but at the same time, it's like it's also a story. Which has a power dynamic to it, and in a weird way that there can be like um, a sort of benefit towards shirking your one's own responsibility for how that they contributed to a situation. And if you just play the victim role, then you sort of like absolve yourself of all the responsibility of it. Yeah, on the more negative side of things. And so now with this, yeah, with this Ace of Pentacles and Eight of Pentacles, that I'm sensing like okay that they do like really have a lot of potential. They have a lot of potential, um, but they might not be living up to it and manifesting it to the full ability because there's some type of excuse me, there's some type of like block or belief system or something or feeling that's created this sort of blandness or being like bored with life or stagnant type of thing here because the ordinariness. So again, this has sometimes this can be a very positive notion, but in this sense, in this reading, I'm getting a little bit more of the negative interpretation, which is like feeling that life is so bland and ordinary and like energy being a bit like stagnant that you can't like fully enjoy things as they are, which is creating like a negative feedback loop here with them not then putting in the effort to do the steps that need to be done for manifesting their full potential here. Um, yeah. And so the other message I'm seeing here is like with this Two of Pentacles, here, and this particular side of the card. So this is the regular Two of Pentacles, but on this side of the card, it came up that they're being watched by these people from above, and it's a bit like performative, like they're performing an act for these people here. So I'm sensing this person is relatively socially conscious, in the sense that they're like quite aware of people's opinions and such like this, and perceptions and like optics of things, and that they in a way like play into that. They play the game of the social game here, and they're doing it like to present themselves in a certain way here. Right, they try to present themselves in the most positive light and like such like this, and from a certain distance it really works well. I'm sensing that they can like really like portray themselves um quite positively to people, but the overall energy, the vibe here that's going on underneath is not so ideal here, not so nice. I'm going to say that this pile actually does not pass my vibe check. uh, and probably would not pass yours either, once if you are getting to know them really closely. And if this is someone you already know closely and none of this has resonated to you, maybe pick a different pile. But I'm sensing here that this is someone who definitely, that they are not taking so as much responsibility for themselves and their life as they could and should, and they're not really seeing how their own choices or inertia or their attitudes towards life are creating a bit of a negative feedback loop about it, and not really manifesting their full potential. But like on the surface, or like in the social game, that they can play that really well and make themselves seem in a more positive light. But on an inner level here, that they're just going from like moment to moment here, and not really like taking enough control of their destiny here. And they're not taking they're not, their full potential is missing. Okay, so I think that's all that I have here for you for this reading. So if you are interested to comment down below, I really like reading your comments. And if you liked the video, I hope it was helpful in some way. Please like it and click the like button. And subscribe if you want to see more content in the future. And thank you very much for watching.